What's up, you guys? And welcome to another episode of Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Okay, we got it that time, girl. I'm so glad.
You know that we do have to tell them, just like we say on every episode, because somebody it's going to be one. He did lead a 99 for the one. So,
come on.
Well, but somebody's going to say they didn't know. But
Didn't
the
know
aunties
what,
we're going on tour.
Yes, we are.
Super excited to have some back-to-back stops. Our other shows were kind of spaced out. So this time we wanted to put them all together so that y'all can come see us this summer. So DC in May, New York City in June, Dallas in July. We are so excited. Make sure you do your meet and greet add-on so that you can come kick it with us and take pictures and laugh and dance, and we can get to know you better. And give us hugs. Like, we just love hugs. And yeah, so I'm really excited. It's going to be a great show. If you've been to a show before, nothing compares.
Right.
We have a great time. It's great energy in the room. Literally family. Like, people come meet somebody new.
Yeah.
People come make friends. Like, we just have such a good time. So make sure to go to yourfavoriteauntiesPodcast.com. Get your tickets. They are going fast.
So in another church announcement, which is equally as important, tomorrow's your birthday. I don't know what melody that was.
Yeah.
But tomorrow's your birthday. So wait, hold on. Which one do you like? I want to say happy birthday to you. Is that the melody?
It was a melody.
It was a. Happy birthday, friend.
Thank you so much.
This is going to be an incredible year for you. And I'm so happy that I get to walk into this year with you, because I'm claiming that I walk into this year with you, that we are going to continuously be friends. Amen.
Don't say that and spark rumors.
Girl, it's already rumors.
Anyways.
And they're all true.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, I'm very happy. This is going to be an amazing birthday for you. This year is going to be incredible for you. And I am so excited to see what the Lord is going to do.
Are you going to celebrate with me?
Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way.
We didn't celebrate last year.
That's because you was doing something.
No.
You know what? You just be holding stuff against me. And you just love to bring it up on the show.
I just run it through birthdays.
Why we didn't do nothing?
Because you just don't be doing that with me for my birthday.
That is not true. You be with your man. You be with your mama. You be with everybody else but me.
Whatever.
Anyways. You want to start this.
Yeah, let's not.
All right. Boy, I tell you, poke the bear and then hide the stick, ain't it?
No, but I'm excited. So definitely open to gifts. The P.O. box is in all of our descriptions. If you want to send TT a little something, got CashApp, got PayPal, got Zelle, Venmo, Apple Pay, huh? Cash. Cash is king.
Cash.
So definitely
check.
Make sure it don't bounce though.
Hello. Cash it immediately.
But I would love that. So yay.
Okay, happy birthday to you again, friend.
Thank you.
Baby, let's get into it, honey.
Yeah. I wanted to spend a little time, and this is very fitting because I always do a lot of reflection around my birthday. And just spend a little time talking about just finding yourself and finding who you are and being able to stand confidently in that, to be able to accept that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like half the battle of your 20s is like finding who you are. And even now in your 30s, because definitely have not arrived, but it's just a better experience. You feel a little bit more solid. But it's a journey. And I definitely think that a lot of our listeners are probably on that same journey of trying to just find who they are, discover who they are, and all of the things that come along with that process.
What has that journey been like for you? Because I know that, I remember you said that 30, it was like something just went on. Did you say 30 or was it 29?
30. Yeah. Well, something clicked in me at 29 because I was turning 30.
Yeah.
And at 29, I had just got out of my last relationship, and it was like 2.5 years long. And I was just like, I want all that life has to offer.
Amen.
Like, it just lit a fire inside of me. And so that's when I started like really taking care of myself. I started just acknowledging like the baddie that I am.
I know that's right.
I was on social media posting stories every day. Like, dang, Nia, we don't want to see your body. Well, you're going to get it.
Hello.
I mean, I was out there. Not out there like that. But, I was putting myself out there in a different way than I had ever done before. Because I was just confident. Like, you know what? I'm that girl.
Yeah, and you are.
And one thing, although I was heartbroken after that particular relationship, I left knowing like, I'm that girl. Like, he totally missed out. Forget him. And I'm about to show him.
Yeah. And that you did. And are still doing.
Hello.
Huh.
So, yeah, so 29 definitely was a life changer for me. It was my most confident shift I've ever made in life.
I feel like you turning 24 is like another 29.
24?
34.
Oh, 34.
30. I mean, you just look so good. You just look so youthful.
You. I mean, I'll take it.
But you turning 34, I feel like it's another 29 for you in a sense of, you know, you're even more into your 30s. You have it going on. And there's just like a new awakening that's going to happen. So I'm incredibly excited to see what this year is going to do for you and with you.
I'm excited too. I think that although I feel more solid than I've ever been in who I am, I also still sometimes deal with like that imposter syndrome.
That's so weird to hear you say, because I'm like, baby, imposter. You are quite literally that girl.
I just have become accustomed to doing things afraid, but I do still be afraid though. Or I think we all have a need for acceptance and validation. And so sometimes that little like, am I really like, do I belong here? You know, like, is this really what I need to be doing? Is this really who I am? Is this what success looks like for me? Like, those questions do pop up from time to time. I just be like, I'm gonna just do it anyway. But that doesn't mean the question doesn't come though.
Well, I know one thing. I'm incredibly proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy to say that you are my best friend. Because you are that girl.
I am that girl.
And it's not the diamonds. It's not the pearls. Like, it's not like, it's just that you're that girl. Well, with your confidence, how do you think you can spark others to be confident within themselves and to even rise up against that imposter syndrome?
Against.
You
know, the only way that I gained my confidence was to spend time with myself. And then once I spent time with myself, I was like, I like me. Like, cool. I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
So even now, I'm like, it takes a lot to pull me out the house. Cause I'm like, I really enjoy like just kicking it like me.
You're an introvert, Nia.
I am, but I used to like need the validation of people, need the acceptance of people, need like the presence of people. And now like I just be chilling and I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm having a great time.
Amen.
I'm not bothered in the least. Like literally, I'd be like, is this going to be better than me kicking it by myself? Because it's a lot of competition. It's a very tough competition. What about you? How do you feel? Do you feel like you've discovered yourself?
I feel like I have discovered certain parts of myself yet. Yes. But me in totality, no.
Why?
Because I feel like, this is going to sound so like cliche, but I genuinely feel like I have not tapped into all of my power yet or like my full capacity. And I'm only seeing like glimpses of how amazing I can be. So I'm still learning how multifaceted I am.
Is something keeping you from that?
I don't want to say something's like just fully keeping me, but I do believe that there's levels and elevation that's going to happen, you know, like evolution. There's an evolution that needs to happen. And I'm getting there, you know, so we often talk about how I am not adventurous. Like that is not, I'm spontaneous, not adventurous. And I do believe that the more I become adventurous, like doing the things scared, like you spoke about, I'll definitely discover more of myself. But I do think that there is untapped parts of ShaMarian that I'm still learning. But I know that that's going to come with life. Because who I am today came with life. Like I really was not who I am today 5 years ago. Like I'm just not. And it took a lot of living life to get to where I am. And I don't think that it was something that I could have unlocked prior to all of the time that led up to right now.
Interesting. So for someone who says like, I don't know how to find myself. Like I hear y'all talking about finding yourself. Like what would you say to them about how to go along the journey?
I would say focus more on the things that you feel like you like or that you would want to do instead of how others would think you're supposed to be living.
Stay right there.
I've learned a lot more about myself when I cared less what people thought about myself. And the minute this is still, it's still a work in progress. 100% is still a work in progress. But the less I care about what others think and feel, the more I'm able to tap into who I am. Because as long as I'm being who somebody else wants me to be, I'll never know who I am.
That's really good. I told you to stay right there because that was who I was for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything that everyone else either told me to do or told me that I should do, or I mean everything, what I majored in college and my career and who to date, and everything was this like convoluted mixture of what everybody else said. And I never just thought about what do I want.
Right.
So I ended up in a situation like in college where I started a degree program a year in. I was like, I don't want to do this. But I was in such a rigorous program. It was like, let me just finish because I'm gonna have to start over. Then I'm gonna be here longer, and I got to get out of here in 4 years. Got to. But it was all because somebody else told me, and I was like, okay, well that sounds good. Like I was very much not like a go against the grain type of person. If you told me that this is going to turn out this way, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that. Like I was never rebellious. Like, oh, I got to do the opposite. I was like, okay, let me take this. Let me take what they say because I want to be the best and I want to do the best and I want to please everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so much of my life was that even now, like I literally had a session with my therapist maybe a couple of weeks ago where I was like, I'm really looking at my desires and making sure that I want them.
That's good.
And it's not a desire that someone else placed, a seed that someone else planted. And now I think I should want that.
Come on.
And because I think I should want that, then I think I do want it.
Yeah.
And I really don't. You have to be careful, like, because you will place desires. And it's things to think about, like we've talked about, like motherhood, marriage, things like that. Nobody ever stops to think like, okay, do you actually want that? Or do you think that's what you should do?
Correct.
That's what everybody else is doing. This is the natural way of life. And if that's really what you want, cool. But also, nobody ever stops to say, like, do I actually want this?
Right.
And then you end up unhappy because, no, it really isn't what you want. You just thought that somebody planted a seed, like, no, you should want this. And then you went with it.
No, that's really good. I like that you even brought that up because, there are certain things that you and I desire out of life, and some of them are very similar and some of them are different. And when I tell people or go against the grain and saying that, just even talking about children, whereas like, I don't think I would just fully mind the idea of being a mom, but I'm not like, I want to be a mother. I could tell you I want to be a wife. I could tell you I want to be married, but like the motherhood side of it. And I'm not looking down on women or I detest it or I this, I that. I'm just like, if it didn't happen, I don't think that I would be upset, or I would be more inclined once I'm in love and married and stuff and be like, okay, I know that my husband is going to be right by my side and I won't be a single parent in motherhood,
Mm-hmm.
Because oftentimes I've seen that. And now when I think about like life, and again, when I go against the grain and I might say things like that, people are always like, oh, well, no, of course you do want to be a mom. You just did it. It's like, no, you have to really be like, no, I said what I said and I meant it. You have to begin to be unapologetic in your desires and wants. And when somebody comes up against it, when somebody comes up and is trying to tell you something other than, you have to be like, no, this is what I want. You don't have to back down from your desires just because it's not, the social norm.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So much of our lives are shaped by those things, are shaped by the seeds that are planted. And I would say for the most part, it's not malicious in any way.
At all.
But especially, your family and different people, they want the best for you.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're also taking their experience into account. And so they're trying to guide you away from probably their pitfalls and the things that happen to them, but then also want the best for you. And so I'm not saying it's malicious at all, but it's definitely something I've had to examine, like what are my desires and which ones are mine and which ones do I think I should have or somebody said I should, and that's what I'm going with.
Right. So that's definitely our encouragement. Reevaluate, what do you desire? I would tell you to wholeheartedly take out a piece of paper or pull up your iPad, your phone, your computer, whatever, and make a list. What are your desires? Just write all of your desires out, right? And then on the other side of that, say, was this my desire or was it something somebody else planted? Or was this the Holy Spirit? Like I would say to have 3 to 4 columns on how you feel like that desire came to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, begin to weed out those things, and that will help you form your identity.
That's very good. Very good. Because there's a certain amount of uniqueness and individuality that go into forming who you are. And so
Right.
you do have to be willing to go against the grain. You do have to be willing to do something different, to stand up for what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Because I was not my best advocate for a long time.
Right.
I was like, everybody else mattered more than I did.
Right.
Everybody else's opinion mattered. Everybody else's comfort and convenience mattered. And it took a very long time for me to be like, no, but this is what I want.
Yeah.
And everybody else is getting what they want, and I'm not getting what I want, and it's not fair.
It's not. It's not. I think more women, more people in general, but especially women, especially Black women, need to know it is very okay for you to be selfish and, you can still be selfless in other areas of your life, or, but be selfish. Like, you need to take your life into your hands, because ultimately, when it's all said and done, you have to live the life that you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
According to God. Okay.
Of course.
But also, like, you don't want to be 90 and then be on your deathbed and be like, you know what?
Full of regret.
I would have loved going to that concert. Or I would have, case in point, who was it who went to pledge one of the gospel art? Oh, there was a gospel artist who went to pledge a certain fraternity, and he's much older now. Well, I don't say much older. But he's an older gentleman now, and people are wondering, like, why now and why this and why that? I guarantee you he wanted to do it when he was younger, but because the opinions of others probably kept him. Now, I don't know. I'm simply speculating. But how often are we living our lives according to other people, missing out on amazing years that we can really experience something, all because of what somebody else will say? And now in his older age, he, went ahead and pledged, and I'm sure he's happy about it, and it fulfilled something within him. But I wonder what it could have been like if he was able to express himself freely prior to that point.
Mm-hmm. But there's a certain aspect, and not to down like Black parents, but there is a certain aspect of just growing up in our cultural experience that doesn't like play to you doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I always knew growing up, like I gotta go to school, I gotta get a good job. And not even because my parents, weren't financially well, but it was just like embedded. So it never even crossed my mind not to go to college.
Right.
Never crossed my mind. These kids nowadays, you can make money in so many different ways.
Right.
Go get a certificate or go take there's so many things but it never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Like the possibilities are limitless, but if you're not exposed to them and exposed to the fact that you don't have to follow everybody else's path, you will just go down the one that is already written out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up not happy at the end of that. Not saying that you shouldn't go to college.
Right.
Not saying that. But go because you want to. Go because it aids in the vision for your life, and not just because, okay, I graduated high school, this is what I got to do next.
Yeah.
And that's how it was for me. Like, okay, this is what I got to do next. I just never even thought about it.
I think the biggest thing that we're saying is to go after your dreams, go after your desires, again, according to God, because I don't want that to be misconstrued. I know so many people would miss the forest for the trees, but I want to make it abundantly clear, like, you are allowed to be happy and to have joy. And I know for so long, you're not called to be happy. You're called to have joy in the Lord. And yes, but also, Barbara, I want to be happy today too. Like, I can say that there have been things that I have missed out in my early 20s just because I was listening to somebody else.
For sure.
And I was so impressionable, so green, so naive, so malleable, just easily swayed. And now I am incredibly headstrong. Okay. The Lord himself has to tell me, like, hey, Sham, come on.
Even then,
I'd be like, are you sure? You know what I mean? Like, we definitely have to be mindful of the things that we allow and the opinions of others that we allow to govern ourselves.
Absolutely. So on the journey of finding yourself, what are some of the things that people should expect?
You should expect to lose some friends.
Ooh.
You should absolutely expect to lose some friends. My friendships today do not look like my friendships from 2 years ago before even starting this podcast.
Eesh.
They do not look the same.
Yeah.
And oftentimes my feelings be hurt thinking about it. Mind you, I'm not like not friends with them, but it's
just different.
Oh, 100% different. 100%. Even in finding my own self outside the podcast, like, I know that has a lot to do with where my relationships are today. because we don't share the same ideologies or all of them. It's just not the same. We don't have the same mindsets or desire the same things. Some of them have started their families. Some of them are really into their career, or they may be in a different spot in their faith than I am, and that's playing a huge part in the relationships that I host right now.
But what do you think makes them not as intense? Because we know that as friends, you have to embrace your friends and their differences.
Right.
So what is the difference factor here of why this difference makes y'all kind of grow apart?
I believe it's the desire to understand what the other person is. I know that when I had a lot of black and white thought, I definitely shifted away from other friends when I realized that, like, you can have other reasons to be friends with somebody because of X, Y, and Z reason, or be as intense outside of, certain things. So for me, it's definitely been, we just don't see eye to eye. And instead of just understanding that, we're just in different places and we can still have that same intensity, it's just not like that. And I've just come to accept it for what it is. I cannot say that I like it fully. I cannot. But I'm just more accepting of, if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, it's just not. And it was beautiful to experience life with you when I did.
But did you have to like actively let go of these people?
Yes.
What did that look like?
It looked like me understanding that we just won't talk as much. Not because I didn't want to, but because I see that you don't have the same type of effort in this friendship as what you once did. And I had to come to grips with being like, okay with that. I had to just say, you know what? I'm not going to continue to fight tooth and nail when I'm the only one in the fight. But it took a lot for me to just realize and just actually take it in, because you've seen me go through different things and I will hold on. I really will hold on to something that is dead. But I just had to remember, I had to realize that, you know what, this thing it's not holding up like how it used to. And I realized that I was putting a lot into it, not to negate any of their efforts, but I felt like I was putting a lot more into talking. And I just had to take that into inventory and realize this is not what I want for my life. I don't want to be putting more into something than somebody else is. I want reciprocity.
Which is good, and it's something to look for. Because along the journey, you will lose people, or not even just lose, but just grow apart.
Right.
I definitely can tell in this season that I have grown apart from some people that I used to talk to all the time, hang out with all the time. But as you are on the journey of finding yourself, discovering yourself, you gain a certain confidence to know that it's okay. Like, you don't own people. They got their stuff going on. You got your stuff going on. And it just sometimes just is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be this big negative thing. And oh my gosh, we talked every day a week ago, and this week we talked once. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do just have to just let it be.
Right.
Because hanging on to things that are not supposed to go into the next season will hinder you from discovering yourself even further.
Correct.
And who's to say that those people weren't hindering you, period? You just were in a different place.
Yeah.
But God will cause people to move and things to shift if they have to, whether you like it or not, whether you think they should or not. Everybody's not meant to be in your life in the exact same way forever.
Yeah.
It's just not life,
It's not feasible.
Yeah, and it's not feasible. We all just have so much going on, and life be lifing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that I've noticed too. Like, some people are along the journey with me still, and some people are not.
And be blessed and do your best in between.
Hello? It's just something that happens along the way.
How are you coming to terms with that, or just being okay with that?
Some I'm just okay with. Some of them, it bothered me the way that it happened.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the fact that it happened, I was like, I don't have as much trouble like letting go of things. Like, once you start acting funny, I'm acting hilarious. Like, I'm not,
Nia.
I don't chase people. I'm not going to keep calling you, texting you. I'm not going to keep asking you what's wrong with you. We're adults.
Yeah.
And I just feel like at this point, I need people in my life who can communicate, who have emotional intelligence. And look, if I did something or said something, tell me so I can apologize. If you don't want to say nothing, then don't hold it against me, because I don't know.
Can we just stay right there? I do believe that there is a maturity that needs to happen in your adulthood to say, if you have a problem, speak up. And if you're not going to speak up, then you don't have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Because it's so unfair to be upset with someone and not speak to them about it, you know? Especially
but hold
if you
it
see
against
them.
them.
Yeah, but hold it against them. Especially if you see, it'd be one thing if they just, and just, don't care. But if somebody's trying to resolve an issue, but you would just rather not talk about it, you don't really have a problem and you just want to be this way.
Mm-hmm. Or you just want whatever that gets you, whether it is attention or maybe you do want space or whatever. You just want to manipulate the situation and get what you want to get. But at this point, I don't hang on to it at all. Like, I'm gonna reach out, I'm gonna try, but if I notice you acting funny, I'm not running behind you.
Right.
I'm not. You either can talk to me about it or you cannot, and we could just keep on moving.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, not at this age. After 30, we just have to walk with some emotional intelligence.
You have to. If you want to have a relationship with me.
Hello, because maturity over here.
Hello.
I
just can't do it. I couldn't even imagine. Nia, let me tell you something. You fool around and stop talking to me. And I'll ask you what's going on. And you be like, oh, nothing? Okay, well, you need to act better. Act right.
But that happened to me in a friendship where to this day, I don't know what happened. And so now it's to the point where it's like, if you didn't want to tell me, then I can't hang on to it.
Hello.
Because I just feel like you should know at a certain point, you know somebody's character.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you should know if I did something or said something, I'll apologize. Like, just let me know what it is. Let's talk about it. But if you're not willing to do that and you do just want to kind of part ways or you want to start not answering the phone or not texting or acting weird, I'm good.
Right. Okay, baby. Do your thing.
I'm good.
It took me a minute to get to that place, though.
Girl.
To learn from the best now.
But it might also just be my pride. Like, I'm not finna run after nobody.
Yeah.
Because that does something to me.
Yeah.
Especially a man.
Now, stay right there.
Because on your journey to finding yourself, you're going to deal with some people of the opposite sex, honey. Baby. And they going to help you find yourself.
Hello?
One way or another.
Hello?
Through hurt or through joy.
Joy or pain?
Baby, heartbreak, you find yourself so quick.
Ooh,
very sobering.
Baby. Baby, heartbreak will change your attitude real quick.
Change your whole life.
Huh?
Mindset, everything.
Baby, and
like, how do you mature in 1 second?
Okay? And that heartbreak dial will get
you right.
That heartbreak dial will do something to you.
No, for real. It changes you so fast. Baby, the Lord uses relationships.
Don't he?
He uses them. He uses them. That thing will change you quicker than anything else.
Hello?
Like, how did I become a different person overnight?
Baby, let me tell you something. There were certain heartbreaks I experienced. I became a cold piece. A cold piece. I was like, oh, okay. All right, I got your number. All right. I'm finna show you way better than I could tell you. When I finally get to that point.
I know, right? You take a long time, especially in relationships.
But when I do. Wow. All right, that's fine.
You be trying, I love it because, like, I feel like you be trying to be so, like, mature and just communicative. And I'm like, you can't even do that with these dudes. Like, stop. Like, I remember somebody you was texting and you read the text to me and I was like, why would you send that to him? And it was a very mature text. Like, something like, if you want to talk, I'm here. If you don't, you need some space, let me know. Just a whole nice little soliloquy.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, no.
I guess for me, I like to be able to walk away and say, like, no, I tried.
You do.
I want to be able to
try more than once. I just need this for me.
No, because I do. Honestly, don't nobody have to sit with me but me. And I know what gets my wheels turning and what doesn't. Like, and now I'm learning more and more. Sometimes less is more. I get that. Okay, whatever. But I do have to, like we've been talking about this whole time, I got to do what works for ShaMarian. Like you being, a sweet assassin, like that works for you. Like,
dang, a sweet assassin.
Not because Danielle, like you really are, like you are so sweet, you are so kind. But and also when it's time for somebody to kick rocks,
What?
Bye. Smooth. You smooth with the kill. Smooth with it.
That
Tell
is
me you're not.
hilarious. I'd never heard anybody.
But so for me, I know what I need to move on and be okay, because once I get to that point, then I really am like done. Now I don't have to harp on or think about like, oh, what else, what could have happened and this and that. I do what works for me, and it don't work for everybody else. It might annoy everybody else, but at the end of the day, I know how I have to go to sleep. You don't have to sit with me. I got to sit with me.
But then how do you balance though? Because just because something quote unquote works for you doesn't mean it works in general.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, it's an important point to bring up as we're talking about like solidifying who you are and your thought processes and all of that, like balancing the fact that you may have to reconcile some things that they don't work. Even if you feel like that, even if that's your opinion, even if that's deeply rooted in you, the truth of the matter is the proof is in the pudding. This doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? And so I've had to come to terms with some things. Like when I was on my journey of faith deconstruction, like that was my main thing. Like, look, God is productive and I'm not getting produce. So some
got to shake.
Hello.
And it should be me.
Hello. And then you got to realize when it is you, your actions, your thoughts, your mindsets, what they're rooted in, where they came from. Like, that's a lot of deep work that you have to do, but you do have to come to terms with the areas of your life where it's like, okay, this ain't working. So what do I need to do?
That's good. You're right. You could have told me that offline, but
no, I wasn't saying.
I know. I'm messing with you, friend. I'm messing with you.
No, but yeah, it's just important along the journey, because you do want to make decisions that you yourself would be proud of. So your future self, would my future self be proud of this decision? I've always been the type of person to think ahead, and I think that's been really beneficial. I'm not impulsive. And so that's helped me to dodge a lot of like some of the mistakes and different things that people make because I'm not impulsive. I think through and how is this going to affect this and what about next week and next year, and so sometimes you do have to just take a beat and really think through things and the decisions that you're making and what would fulfill you. Not what would fulfill everybody else, but what would fulfill you.
That's good. That's really good. So as we're like closing out, because it is that time, friend.
Yeah.
What is something that you want people to take with them from this episode?
I would say that discovering who you are is a journey, not a destination. So never feel bad because you made a mistake. Never feel bad because you don't quite understand who you are, what you're supposed to do, what your purpose is, you wavering, knowing your worth or not. It's all a journey. None of us have arrived, and you're going to continue to unfold as life goes on. And also to be kind to yourself because we're all changing. I'm not the same Nia I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And so I can't expect those same things or expect myself to be that girl. I'm not her anymore. So now I have to get to know this Nia in this season and also be aware that in the next season, I may be a little bit different.
Right.
But as we go along, we become better. We become more mature. We have more knowledge. We gain more wisdom. And so just be kind to yourself as you continue to evolve.
That's good. That's good.
What about you?
That. You are worthy to be loved how you are and to love yourself how you are. And it's okay to learn new parts of yourself every day. And it's okay if everybody else doesn't understand a piece of you. It's not your job to help everybody understand you. They can experience you, but they don't have to understand you. So just make it a point to understand yourself by way of God, understand your way by way of yourself. And everybody gets a chance to experience you, but everybody will not get a chance to understand you. So you can't live life for everybody else's understanding.
That's good. That's really good. Well, this was a really great episode. Finding yourself, discovering yourself. You can continue to find yourself at our tour this summer.
That was
good. So remember to go to yourfavoriteauntiespodcast.com. Get your tickets. They are going fast. We want to see you in DC, New York City, Dallas, or all of them. And yeah, That's all. And happy birthday to me.
Okay. Everybody, let's sing Nia in the let's sing Nia. Let's sing happy birthday to Nia in the comments. Because this is her tune. I wanna say happy birthday to you. I wanna say happy birthday to you. You my girl, honey. Y'all listen, we love y'all so much. Bye.